they should do in terms of this one is really focusing heavy on the shot selection, because I think those were keys for the teams to be able to win. It's that they were able to select some of their shots completely different from the other side. It's that some players choose to go for threes, some players choose to go for layups. So it really varies depending on the composition that you guys have. Where I believe this is going to be the first time that we're seeing Giannis Antetokounmpo and
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Luka Doncic join in on the party if that is locked in. Because again,
Oh, let's
from the looks of
go.
it, right? You're gonna be able to change it in the middle of picking, and for the first
Yeah.
time, our kabayan Jordan Clarkson
Kabayan.
goes in for action here in the fourth match of the night.
Clarkson going in with Luka and Gasol. So this is gonna be a tight match for sure, but there's Giannis on the other side. And Giannis versus Luka on the paint is, there's an advantage for Giannis. Now here comes the jump ball.
Right, so from the looks of it, that is gonna be another opening here that
Yeah,
will
but
not work so far.
mhm. Blue ball not getting the 3 point. And here comes the midi. 2 points for DCB. Now, Cosa Nostra, they have the ball. Passing it around. Jokic with a 3 point.
I'm
All right.
telling you, man. I'm
Okay.
telling you. You have to be a believer of Jokic. He can take that shot from beyond the arc. They are up now by one, 3-2.
And it's
That
way
would have
beyond
been,
the arc.
yeah, that's way beyond the arc. You show, it was
Ooh.
showing in a little bit, but then all of a sudden, this is what I'm talking about, Neil. Right? We haven't seen a lot of paint action from KOSA, as both of their shots, all of their points have come from the 3-point line. But when you look at
Yes.
DCB, they're really taking advantage of that paint.
Yes, it's the two 2 points advantage only on Cosa. And as you can see, there's the shot, but highly contested. And now, look at that positioning for Cosa or for DCB. And now they're up to 1 point versus Cosa.
They are up as of the moment to obviously take care of the situation at hand. 8-7 is the score. KOSA up by one. They were able to land on 2 points that first time in the game, but there is a dunk. Again, that interior, that paint, that is where DCB has been eating so
Yeah.
far in the competition.
I mean, 2 DCB on the paint. That's an easy shot. And here comes the rebound. Red ball again. Blue ball or Cosa doesn't get any shots. But here comes the 3 points for DCB. Now 4 points advantage.
Jordan Clarkson, there's a reason why you picked him, but then there's Giannis.
Giannis!
He showed us the reason why you pick him too. So 12-10 is the score. DCB still up by 12. They have the lead. Bert finds an opening, kicks it out. Three on the way. It goes in and out, but he gets an extra possession.
And now, Garatina getting a 3 points.
That's gonna hurt if you're
DCB.
KOSA.
Yeah, 5 points, but still we have time. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. Passing the ball to Giannis inside the paint. Now Jokic on the outside. Oh, Giannis! He's free!
You're right. You see, that's a disadvantage when you have like these two bigs on your lineup. You don't really have a lot of outside shooting, so like they heavily depend on Luka Doncic, aka the side of KOSA, for them to hopefully be able to do something about it. That's the thing I was talking about. But then, since KOSA is also having a hard time guarding DCB from the interior, they can choose to go for options such as shooting it from the layups, just like that.
Just like that. And now they're using Giannis, and for sure they will maximize Giannis on this game. But for me, DCB, they have two big mans, but the ones Jokic can shoot outside. And here comes the 3 points. DCB, 5 points advantage. Now, yeah, Giannis, another dunk, kick out, passing to you, Luka, another 3. Wow, this is dense.
2 points separating these two teams. See how things are gonna be going from here on out. Bert kicks it out to Garatina. Bert giving the screen, hopefully to leave some openings. That's gonna be a step back jumper from beyond the arc. And Garatina might just blade the dagger with a shimmy as the icing on the cake.
As you can see, double screen on KOSA, but here comes DCB getting the rebound, and they have another shot to close this game number 1.
That is already game coming in from Garatina.
Look at that, the sticker at the end, man.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson giving glimpses of that FIBA World Cup matchup where he shot 5 straight threes to give the Philippines a win in that World Cup matchup. Just look at that, right? Where do you see Jordan Clarkson getting picked up in all 3 games? Nowhere. Until this 4th match came up and they got the victory with Clarkson being the MVP.
Clarkson. Well, he's the ambassador, so he needs to do something. So, so 14 points for Clarkson, and KOSA. They need a comeback here, but Garatina, Bert, also on the side of DCB. Or no, yeah, DCB. Let's see what's gonna be the new defense or new players that they will get onto going game number 2.
Man, I'm telling you, I am in need of inhalers all the time. I already have my white flower with me because of how intense the games are. So, I feel like at some point, we're not even gonna be able to talk about what happened in that game 1 because we're going straight into the pickings for game number 2, right?
Yes, you're right. And here we go. For sure, DCB will pick again Clarkson and Luka and Jokic for sure, but they're hovering around with Gasol. Oh, and George. We will see your favorite player here, Paul George. And on the side of Cosa Nostra,
there we go.
They will get Doncic. Again, what is that? Giannis.
Yeah, that's Doncic,
Westbrook,
Giannis, and Russell Westbrook. So both,
this is hard.
Both Paul George and Russell Westbrook will be making their debuts in this specific game for today.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you're right. Paul George, Suya has been using pretty unconventional characters. Like not the meta ones. We haven't seen Steph Curry's, we haven't seen Jason Tatum's and KD's in this game, but he's gonna be picking up Paul George in this second try now.
You're right, but for me, they don't have a center. But here comes the dunk on Cosa. I mean, they don't have the center, but still, they have Westbrook and Giannis. But if Gasol touch the ball, I think this is gonna be hard for them to defend. And now here comes the stumble. Now, DCB having the ball with a shot. Free 3 points for Luka. And now DCB again, 3-2 on the scoreboard.
That's huge room for Luka Doncic to open up with that shot. Now it's 3-2 in favor of DCB. Now T-Pain, step back, floater. That was heavily contested by the side of Cosa. Now they're gonna go for a dunk, and that works. That's the reason why you put Westbrook inside.
He can posterize Gasol just like that. And now it's 4-3 on the scoreboard. Gasol having the ball, giving it to Luka with the screen. And here comes, no, it's not gonna go in. It's too far for the rebound. Luka again with the three-point shot, and it will go in. Heat check 6-4 in favor of DCB.
You know, Luka has been a staple pick in the past 2 games, but as I say that, that's Westbrook reintroducing himself once again. All 6 is going to be the score. Final 2 minutes remaining as they try to separate themselves. Garatina again cannot get the shot off. There's someone waiting on that other side. That's PG. Paul George getting his first 3 points of the game.
Here comes the power of center. As you can see, Gasol versus Westbrook, and Giannis getting the ball and kicking it out to Paul George. Will take a 3 points, but here comes the 2 points on the side of KOSA. 1 point on the side of DCB. Here comes the ultimate.
That's
And
a
a 3-point.
step back jumper. Yup. It's not gonna work that time. Now it goes back to KOSA as KOSA looks for another opening. And then there seems to
Look
be a
at that.
commotion here. A 3-pointer on the way, and that works for Luka Doncic and T-Pain. KOSA
Luka
back
Payne.
in the lead once more.
Now the score is 11-9, and here comes the screen. Garatina having the ball, having a shot, but no, there's the rebound of Westbrook. Now it's a red ball. Giannis with the screen. Giannis with the ball. Gasol just standing there.
Yeah, I think he was going for an offensive foul. You know, there are no offensive fouls in this game, but I think he was trying to go for getting Giannis to lose his balance. But that's Giannis we're talking about, right? He just did a Euro step going to 3, and KOSA are not giving up. They want to take this all the way to 3 games.
And the emote is there for Giannis. Now 45 seconds on the clock. Here comes the fadeaway. 2 points. Now 1 point advantage for the KOSA. KOSA's ball. Giannis flying, and the dunk.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo is very hard to stop. Giannis is taking control of the situation. He gets
the block.
rejected. That is an opening coming in from KOSA. KOSA looks to add more insult to injury now. Can they find a way to close this game out? 7 seconds remaining. People are asking for passes. The screen is going to be right there. Namikaze goes inside. That's not going to work. Step back jumper. It's not even going to matter because a shot clock violation is there. So now 14 seconds remaining. They need a 3 in this one. And KOSA, knowing this, there's no one guarding on that side of the floor as it is heavily guarded, but he still gets it in. My goodness.
Is it Luka? Oh my, he
Oh,
uses
yes,
his
he is.
ultimate and getting that 3-point. And for sure, are we going for a overtime? Third overtime of this of this event.
Yeah.
Here comes the jump ball. Luka on DCB, having the ball, passing to Paul George. Paul George spinning, getting ball to Gasol, and still Luka. Paul
See, that's Paul
George with the
George.
ultimate.
That was a fake too. You saw the fake, right?
That's a nice fake. You can fake an ultimate.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
I'm gonna try that later on. Let me
But
retract
Giannis-
my former statement. I am
Yeah,
so
man.
sorry. I did not know that. The hate for the Paul George ultimate is gone. Totally, 100%.
That is a nice and faking ultimate, man. But Giannis answering with the 2 points. And here comes Luka with the fake. Paul George
That's
going
it.
in with
Again,
one-hander.
That's a one-hander. That's what brought them to overtime. So now, DCB, they're so close to closing this game out. But again, that's Giannis. He's not letting up.
Communication though, they just, get the 3-point attempt, and Giannis on the paint,
Oh, he's
getting
wide
the
open.
foot back. But Gasol,
Yeah,
Oh!
he's not gonna.
burning the time.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take the shot.
Burning the time.
Luka is aware of it as well. And looks like that is gonna be the end of this game. DCB
What a
with
sequence.
a 1000 IQ play. that got them the sweep just when we thought that, their opponents were already making a comeback. DCB just realized that, you know what? We don't need to take the shot. We just need to keep the ball within ourselves, and we got this in the bag.
What a sequence. DCB getting the game 2. And I know Hans, Paul George hate is now gone because of that ultimate fake.
Oh yeah.
And I was surprised. I was also surprised, seeing that.
You
that
saw
can
it too,
fake
right?
it.
You saw it too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed. Damn. I didn't
That
know
is a nice mechanic to
existed.
have. Yeah.
And look at that. Look at that, right? Suya is even the MVP. It's like Suya telling me, dude, Paul George isn't bad. You just don't know how to use him. So I'm like, fine. I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't aware of his game, but I am now. 10 points, no rebounds, but 4 assists and
The
2
assist, yeah.
loose balls. That is where it heavily mattered.
And still Katarina getting a 14 points, which, contributes a lot on this game. Giving them 24 points versus 21 points versus Cosa Nostra. And Cosa Nostra, even though their team team name is very what do you call this?
It's united. It's uniform.
Yes, like Purge Pain, Namikaze, and still gonna lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, solid outing still from, Russell Westbrook, and his debut here used by KOSA. But again, their journey is going to be ending here.